UBC's Got Talent.
I think of all the education that I missed, but then my homework was never quite like this. Got it bad, I'm not the teacher. I got it bad, so bad, I'm not the teacher.
Good evening, I'm hot for teacher. I'm Mike Johnston, and I love slam poetry, and if you don't know what that is, you're about to find out, because I'm going to drop a slam poem on you. It's gonna get visceral. This poem I wrote from personal experience about a crush I have for my TA. Thanks. It's called "And Then Things Went South." What places you before me on these tinctured rose-shot mornings, a bell beaten senseless after the fire has rended the forest hell, then dust. Crematorium urns filled to brim with empty warnings that haze and rust the air like don't. But I will, but I am, so burn me. Go ahead, try. Have you noticed the way the sky is ending these days? I may be a little chicken, but the plot is thickening between you and me, and my tawny feet won't carry me much, and on top of that, my complete lack of cardiovascular determines I'm not going anywhere. You are written like the perfect twist in narrative. Sir A.C. Doyle outdoes again, and for once my intrigue far outweighs apprehension. We're a creatively crafted tangent tacked onto my life story's most recent and up-to-date development, and oh, sure, on the surface we're all gloss, but cut into the soybean simulant meat of us for layers of potential complexity, like an appended mystery addenda to the resolution upsetting the content of a languid denouement denoting a week's end and a once upon a time's beginning. Once upon a time, the bell struck 11, struck starry my irises as if seeing you smote open the curtains of a meteor shower. Viral religions of ancient India, and 2.5 hours later the bell struck 12, struck down internal monologues, Freudian analyses of daydreams of you. A brain-boxing match ensues, slapping ideas around like each one a sandbag lemming falling to stagnant death over the jagged rocks of my hemming and hawing. These swift left-rights leave me dazed for nights, a lobotomizing brawl dealing more damage than a kidney stone cod shark's pub crawl. All this whiskey is only good for thinking about how I'm thinking about you. It takes sleep to sober me up from your intoxication, because around you I'm a double amputee whose phantom hands you numb. That is to say, I can't really hold my drink. The way you laugh sends out ripples in the atmosphere like someone tickled your funny bone with a hadron collider. Then you intermittently giggle out the leftovers like the pebbles you try to shake out from the jokes you wore when you walked the road less traveled. Would I could trail that punchline, inhaling the dirted mural of your pioneering footsteps, so by the time I circumnavigated my hesitation, perhaps my voice would be gravelly enough to pretend it could dissect the divide of our age difference. Legally, I think I'm up against an electrified fence on this one. But I've got the physical memory of a goldfish. Each 3 seconds I clasp my skin-melted mitts around these crisscross wires, quick becoming one gargantuan, electrospastic, ecstatic carpet shock. My hair catches fire. I turn yellow, black, white, yellow, black, white, yellow, black, white, yellow, black, white, like a cartoon cat dancing in a painful skin-tight disco x-ray machine. My palpitating heart beats. drops an audacious drum and bass beat against my xylophone spine, and my hindsight's all blurry because someone sat on my status quo prescription perspectives while I was picking myself up off the grounding rubber left by a thoughtful, but nonetheless hopelessly unromantic bystander who fails to see the density I purposefully adopt when I hop to my feet once more and one more time charge that charged and charring fence whose grandiose, glowing, unmissable red sign I choose to view with a sufficient level of illiteracy. Forbidden access. Colon. Teaching assistant. Oh, man. It's all green tea in the gas tank of a Humvee written by invisible ink without the milk or lemons, demonstrators without picket signs or picket lines or pickup lines on comatose roses, showbiz without the tits or disapproving mothers, Israeli bloggers freely spouting obscenities, scenes of helicopters without Ride of the Valkyries. It just doesn't work. But with optimism as indefatigable as a frisky Viagra popping penguin in an uptown dry cleaners, I want to get intimate with the tuxedos fashioned after the philosophy of not dropping my hat in the face of adversity. So if you shut me down, at least I'm well dressed. And if they shut us down, well, us is kind of presumptuous. And I don't want to mess with any pronouns when this isn't even a confession. But if they shut us down, then we're doing something right. And in the face of our plight, I would crown us the arbiters of the undeterred, a love unheard of. Because nobody before us listened closely enough to their guts to have them.
UBC's Got Talent.